But anyway, onto the actual board itself. And amazingly, while we were doing the making the baseboard, we got some old wood. Sorry if I get in the way here. And constructed this. Knee on it. Now, obviously, the board has got a split, and you can see the split line in the board. There, that's where the bolts go across. But the station, you can just about see here, goes across that. But cleverly, this wooden board, the station platform, will be when it's got some Metcalf stone. Dressed stone. It's the closest I can find to GWR stones that they do. There. Will be on the front, and then I'm going to do paving slabs on the top. And I've got a Metcalf GWR station kit, which I'm constructing at the moment. Beautiful kit. I would definitely advise getting one. It's the first one that I constructed myself, because many of these buildings on here were constructed like years and years and years ago. You know, when I was not, I wasn't very old and I didn't know how to do that sort of thing. So yeah, I started my first kit and went together with a couple of, well, it's going really well at the moment, and hopefully it'll be in my next update. That's one thing I've got to mention. There'll be an update every sort of week, every weekend hopefully, depending on how much I've done, because it's quite a busy time with coursework and stuff. But anyway, see there's got dowel on the bottom, and there's 3 holes in there, 3 bits of dowel. Basically, it goes over the holes, and you can probably guess it. It slots in. This also provides a sort of a bit more support for the board as well. Not as if it would need very much more, because it's brilliantly strong when standing up. But there you are. It's all in, and also that means I can do the scenery around it. So when the layer collapses, I can take it off. It's all one solid piece, and all the ballast will be around there. And we won't have to fiddle about trying to put it back on. It only fits in one place. Now the station is obviously quite wide for a country station. But it's been designed to incorporate the GWR building, which will go in the middle. But then I'm going to probably cut a bit off around the back, sort of like that like a little bay there, a little bay at that end as well, and then leave the building on sort of a platform in the middle to put steps and maybe like the back of a car park sort of thing. Obviously there's going to be no room for a car park because there's going to be a backboard there with all the scenery and trees on it and stuff. But just make it out as if there was a car park, part of a car park starting sort of thing. As you can see there. Though it's a bit small, but you can sort of see like the idea I got on the design there. There is a signal box on the design, but being the station being big enough to incorporate a 3-coach train, there's going to be like a little tiny signal box which will be on the platform, sort of thing, as there only being 6 pairs of points. Now the bridge I'm going to construct out of old parts. The main part being an old Hornby road bridge, the plastic one that's been out for like many years. It's Triang. Basically, I had an old broken one in there, which I found in like a lock job sort of box. But I bought this Pico stone front, which is sort of similar to the stone of Compton Martin and the station, and that'll be positioned onto the front. And obviously that the portal will fit in there perfectly once I've modified the height of the bit behind it. And it'll give it a real good effect. It's got the sidewalls and everything. So yeah, that's gonna be pretty good. Following Mr. Dodo 8449's tutorials, I've got the foam track bed, which will be laid obviously for all the track, give it more realistic ballasting and stuff. As for the yard, my friend used clay on the yard, which apparently went really well, so I might use some DAS modelling clay to recreate maybe a cobbled stone area. Honestly, don't know what I'm going to do with the yard yet, so any suggestions of what could go there, sort of thing. But yeah, basically with this design, it's long enough to fit a 3-coach train in. Like 3 coaches. There's 3 Dapple Suburban coaches, in fact, and a tank engine. The only problem is, or call it good sort of thing, is the fiddle yard isn't long enough to incorporate that train. Being only 2 foot long, the one coach would be hanging out the tunnel, sort of thing. So if I ever take it to an exhibition, there may be a bit of fiddling about with that. I might put some little corners in there to sort of try to get as much of the train in there as possible, but it's not going to be very realistic. But then again, this is the first attempt, so obviously I'm trying to get as much scenery on there, and it'll only be occasionally a 3-coach train run on there. It'll be mostly a 2-coach train, like the Collett Goods and the 2 Suburban coaches, and that should fit in there. Another thing, there is a siding in there. There's going to be another siding in there. I added one in there, so sort of thing, continuing on for that loop, so another engine could park up in there. What else there to say? Oh yes, well, like I mentioned, I'm hoping to take this to exhibitions, and the first exhibition that I hope to take it to is, in fact, the East Somerset Railways Models and Miniatures event. I noticed there's a little thing on their website saying if you want to exhibit anything, please come along. Obviously, I'm not in a modelling club or anything, and you know, I don't know where to start, sort of thing. But you know, obviously that website of the East Somerset Railway saying about that event, it's sort of saying, well, if you think you got a collapsible layout, so your exhibition layout you think's all right, you bring it along, sort of thing, and you might get a notice there, sort of thing. So you never know. And well, being a sort of a Somerset Dorset there, if I finish it any earlier, sort of thing, which I highly doubt with all the amount of stuff that I got to do on it, it's you know, maybe I might even get to the Midsummer Norton event. When they do their sort of like little gala they do once a year in the height of summer. But you know, I highly doubt that, and obviously I've got to ask them if I could display it. But obviously that's all yet to come, sort of thing. I haven't even started it yet. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed it so far. Oh, one more thing, there's obviously been a split board, the track will have to split, and many of you have been using wiring and soldering. I do not have a soldering iron, and I'm sure that I wouldn't trust myself with one at the moment, because obviously the only bit I did with a soldering iron was tech, and most of this is all done by sort of like putting fish plates together. I did suggest to Brazil 2044 to use like to sort of like put a wire around it with like power clips. On a home layout that could easily be disguised, but on an exhibition layout with all this detail it won't be able to be disguised. But I came up with a clever idea. Well, I didn't. I found it on the internet. You know, it took lots and lots of searching. But basically, it's this little diagram here. There's the split in the board, and there's the two sections of rail. And basically, like a flexi bit of track, you cut a section at the flexi track which covers the split in the board. Then you put two fish plates on the end, and you cut all the sleepers off, glue the sleepers down with all the ballast, because that's, you know, it'll keep all the detail there then. And then you basically just put the little bits of rail in a box, and then when you come to put the layout together, when you bolt it together, you slot that in the middle, pull the fish plates out, and hey presto, electricity should go across the gap. So fingers crossed with that theory anyway. But anyway, that's been that's all for this update. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry if it's a bit long and long-winded, but obviously it's an introduction to a project, so I thought I tried to give you as much information on it as possible. So I'm not sure how much will be done by next weekend, but we'll have to have a look. So yeah, this has been SDJR7F88 speaking, and thanks for watching.